JJ, the CPA. Hope you're doing well. Listen, I've got quite the game plan and the info and an update here. Going to talk about what the self-employed need to know and are asking employees. Talking about debt, 3 weeks, where you need to plan. Kind of a quick PPP overall. The latest on it, can talk about the SBA, this question 31 that turned into 37, that turned into 39, to the SBA final interim rule. And we're going to talk about what's this word criminal, like what stages are here and what are we really talking about here when we're talking about PPP. You know, Wall Street Journal and Forbes magazine, they're talking about things that I've been mentioning, which is criminal activity with PPP. Let's talk that through. Going to visit about what my organization, the American Institute of CPAs, is doing to maybe help with this. And then I'm going to give you an opinion at the end on where I think we should be looking at PPP for the fellow small business owners like me, and then just quickly touch on the taxation issues related to PPP and kind of the latest on that. So the thing to note here is that you need to, with these matters, consult your advisors, okay? So know this, I'm providing information to you. It's damn good information, I can tell you that right now, but information for you and how you apply it, you need to be not acting alone on these things, okay? These are not try it at home type matters when we're talking about the issues that I'm talking about here, okay? This isn't a do-it-yourself, okay? If you grab a YouTube video and learn how to change the faucet in your kitchen, like Amanda and I thought about doing this last weekend, okay? This ain't one of those, okay? This is not how to change your own faucet, and you should not be changing your own faucet when it comes to these things. So on the self-employed, boy, I seem to get a lot of this, so real quick, EIDL does not affect PPP or PUI or PUA. Use it for other purposes. The PPP forgiveness for sole proprietor, independent contractor, okay, or the self-employed, it's line 31 of Schedule C, divided by 52, times 8. You don't have to do anything special about it. It's automatic forgiveness. If you got an amount that's not based on 2019 Schedule C, line 31, you need to get with your bank. Simple. Get with them. Because if you got too much, they need to figure out if you need to get it returned for the amount that you got that was too much. This isn't a situation where you want to ask for forgiveness later, and that kind of funny. You want to go and ask for permission now. If you got PPP money based on your K-1 from an S Corp, you need to get to the bank and figure out what you got to do here. If you got PPP money based on the amount that you're paying out to others on a 1099, you need to get with the bank. You need to be able to get that returned. We'll talk later about what level of criminal activity is that, right? Is it a crime if you go 1 mile over? Is it a crime if you go 15 miles and over? Yeah, there's probably different degrees, but with these things, the government's going to see it really one way. So at the end of the day, just know this, if you got monies that you didn't qualify for, you need to return those monies and not wait till the end. This is not just, in essence, a 1% loan. You've been given the money based on a certain set of criteria to use on a certain set of criteria, and you don't have a choice, okay? Now, if you've got PUA, so many questions about this. The first thing to note is you're gonna have to visit with your state, okay? You gotta go talk to the state unemployment office and get yourself the real answer, okay? But when you look at 1102 of the CARES Act, what it indicates is that when you're taking PPP, that you're not seeking relief elsewhere for that time period for the same thing. Well, PPP, Paycheck Protection Program, it's replacing your pay. So the strict answer is you can get PUA up to the point of PPP. When you've exhausted PPP, you can go on PUA, assuming you qualify for any and all of those things. If you want to No, well, can I do this? Can I do this? You're just gonna have to go to the state unemployment office. It's the only way that you're actually gonna get an answer. Otherwise, it's considered a double dip. How you deal with that, you will have to decide on that. So what we're looking at here on employees, okay, you employees, okay, wonderful employees out there, you're in a hard spot too, okay? But a couple of things just to note. If your employer is not paying you in full, then go get PUA. If your employer got PPP, note this, they're supposed to pay you your full amount. Well, you know as well as I do as an employee, you can't force the employer to do really anything. So if you're not getting your full pay, then you need to go get PUA. If you have an employer that's paying you less than your full pay and you know they got the PPP, all I'm saying is document that and go get your PUA, because the employer is to pay you in full regardless if you're open or not. If they're planning to have you back, the PPP is directed to be paid to the employees, but you can't control that, right? So just document yourself so that you don't end up in a situation where you're forfeiting benefits or you have to pay something back. So I'm not pitting you against your employer. It's just, unfortunately, these circumstances have put employees and employers in a weird spot. Know this, if you are on PUA and your job is offering you to come back and pay you in full, you don't qualify for PUA, right? You just don't. So you don't really have a choice to stay on PUA. Now you can come up with reasons and hardships, and I feel for you on all those, but you don't have to prove anything to me. You will, though, be putting yourself in jeopardy, this is all I'm telling you, of having to pay the PUA back. Because if you're taking it when your job is ready to pay you, whether they're open or not, you don't have a choice. You don't get to take PUA any longer. And you're putting your employer in a position where they may actually have to let you go, may have to fire you to keep them in compliance, see? Because if an employer gets PPP, they're required to pay you whether they're open or not. So if you don't go back to get paid and you want to continue on PUA, you've put them in a position of no decision. And technically, not even technically, like for real, you don't then qualify for the PUA. But at the end of the day, document what it is that you're doing. If you're not getting your full pay for whatever reason, get your PUA and then document it. Now, here's the thing. You're just going to have to get with your state unemployment. I'm not an unemployment expert. I don't know your state. Go to your state. You need to stop asking other people. You need to stop asking on social media. You need to stop sending random emails. And I'm saying this only for your own good. Stop asking other people, because the only place you're going to get the real answer is at the unemployment office, online or their FAQs, or calling them, or online. So for your own good, stop asking everybody but the unemployment office. Don't mean to make you mad, just straighten up and realize you getting an answer from anybody else other than the unemployment office means nothing. You're probably just in a bad spot, which I hate for you, and you're just now searching for an answer that will make you feel better. But the thing is don't look for the answer that makes you feel better. Find the real answer, and that's at the unemployment office. And the same thing for the for the employers. Okay. So real quick before I talk about what's going on with the employers, I've got a video on this, and my gosh, I mean, how clear do I have to be? So I thought I'd be a little more clear. When I'm talking about using your line of credit, I'm talking to business owners. When I'm talking about being aware that your credit card may be reduced, I'm talking to business owners that may be relying on the credit card. I'm not advocating anything about your credit card. If you're regularly using your credit card like a line of credit for your business, be aware that your limit is going to be reduced. I'm fine making myself vulnerable when I shot a video saying what happened, but wake up, will you? Because sitting around trying to show how, well, my credit score this, then you're clearly not in any kind of crisis, move along. These videos are for people that are in crisis, not for people pondering and looking for ways to entertain themselves by finding a sentence in a video and going, oh my gosh, are you advocating this? Get out of here, okay? Because clearly you're not in a crisis. Now, for those of you that don't own a business, just be aware that your credit may be frozen or locked. Am I telling you to do anything about it? Come on, I'm not advocating that you go and pull a 30% loan. Let's get real. What you need to do is be aware of it. So if you have certain bills that you're regularly putting on the credit card, be aware that you may not have the credit card to pay it. Start planning ahead. That's the point of letting you know that credit is going to be reduced or put down. Now, for those of you that want to put your big old sack up on the table and act like you're all big time because, well, my credit's never done this. Well, good for you. You're not in a crisis. Move along, because you're ruining it for those that are in a crisis and trying to make decisions on how to stay afloat. Am I advocating anything here that would be adverse to you? Maybe, because when people are in a crisis, they can't think of credit score and, well, gee golly, am I going to spend $5 on this and 14 cents on that? Clearly, you're not in a crisis. If you're worried about this little thing and you're pondering this and you're like, I wonder if I should do that. And by the way, I love my various voices. I love them. Now, you need to analyze where you're going to be in 3 weeks. Business owners and individuals. Where are you going to be in 3 weeks? Why? Because you're going to be there in 3 weeks. Do you want to arrive there in 3 weeks and go, crap, I'm out of money. Crap, my credit's gone. Crap, I thought this was happening. I thought that was happening. So I've put together a worksheet for you. I've had it on my website. There's no booby traps. jjthecpahelp.com. Go to survival guide. Go to the guide. It's a silly little guide I put together for you. It's not silly at all. Okay, it's there to help you. But it's a way for you to analyze, okay, where you are now and where you're going to be in 3 weeks. Get real with yourself, okay? Get real with yourself, because right now, if you're finding excuses and you've already found 7 things that you're getting ready to comment on this, then you're clearly not in a crisis, okay? And you're not invited to continue to watch my video. How about that? Now, for employers, okay, 120 billion still available as of today, and you're just gonna have to look and see when the video's posted. You gotta do a little work, can't do everything for you. If you wanna know when the video's posted, I can't say it at the beginning and at the end and have a flashing sign. Why don't you just look and see when the video's posted, okay? And if you're irritated, good. I'm trying to irritate a few of you to stop watching my videos and to move along. And for those that are getting entertained by it, you're welcome. So here's the deal. Employers, you're in a corner. Face it, especially with this PPP. So a couple of things to note. If you got PPP, and yeah, I'm looking at notes, I'm trying to be concise here. If you got PPP and you're bringing your employees back, meaning at some point, you got to pay them. Doesn't matter if you're open or closed. No, it's not your money. You don't get to decide whether you're going to pay them or not. You took the money saying you're going to pay the employees. If you don't like it and you're angry about that, then clearly, no offense, you're not using it as directed. And listen later, and we'll talk about the different degrees of criminal activity. And I'm not the one using that terminology. Okay? I'm not the one using the terminology. Straighten up. Okay? I'm talking to you for your own good. So, you have to use the PPP as it's dictated. No, it's not a 1% loan. Period. If you got the money in correctly, you need to return it. If you find that you're not qualified now, you need to return it. The SBA is saying May 14th. If you're pissed about that, then why are you pissed? And why are you pissed at me? Why don't you call the bank? Why don't you call the jackweed that helped you get the loan and did it incorrectly? Grow up, be an adult, and go figure this crap out. Now, if you get PPP, your employees can't stay on PUA, period. Okay, period. If they're staying on PUA, it's because you fired them. And if your employee won't come back, you don't seem to have a choice here. You're going to have to let them go, because if you don't let them go, now you're not in compliance. Okay? I didn't create the circumstance for you. I'm not the one feeling sorry for you or your employee. That's not even my job. Okay? You and your employee have to realize you're in a crisis circumstance. You've been given relief. If you've been given relief, employer, and it's been PPP, you got to pay your employees. If your employees don't come back, you have to let them go. Go ahead and consult your attorney first and try and figure out what legal advice you should follow. Because you're right, I'm not a lawyer. But what I have is some common sense. What I have is 27 years dealing with the IRS and dealing with the government, okay? And the matter of fact here is simple. You can't have an employee on PUA if you got PPP, because you're supposed to be paying them. So if you have an employee putting you in position, what are you going to do? Because you're the one that's going to be responsible. Get it? Jeez. All right. If employees won't return, they've created this for themselves. I want you to remember that. And then if you don't terminate them, then you got to figure out something. You're going to have to report them to the unemployment board. I mean, you're in a corner. I get it. So you can either return the PPP money and let your employees tell you what to do, okay? Or you can tell your employee what to do. And if that makes an employer some kind of master, slave master, okay? The employee can quit too. The employee has a choice. The employee can say, you know what? F you, employer, I'm out because I'm going to go get my PUA. Then go do that, okay? The employer has no obligation to give an employee a job. But if an employer took PPP money, they have an obligation to pay an employee they are expecting to come back, whether they're opened or not. So if you're not expecting the employee to come back, then it's time to let them know. If you expect that employee to come back and they're staying on PUA, what kind of employee do you have working for you anyways? Is that who you want to come back? Yes, consult an attorney, okay? Jeez, isn't that obvious? If you own a business, don't you know that you should consult an attorney? I mean, what kind of business owner are you if you have to be told in a free video that you have to consult an attorney before you fire somebody? So all of you naysayers with your peanut gallery, you're just ridiculous, and I'm glad I'm entertaining you. Aren't I entertaining you right now? Huh? It's kind of like, what, Gladiator? Are you not entertained? I love my different voices, okay? And guess what? Every time you comment, boom, algorithm helps. Thumbs up, thumbs down, algorithm helps. So bring it on, because I'm the only one out here talking about these things. I'm talking about it before everybody else. And if you think about it, I'm doing it for your own freaking good. And if you can't handle it, then why the hell do you own a business? Are you not an adult? Can you not hear it? Okay? And usually when somebody's in the dark and someone's bringing the light, they want to hide from it. You got it? So if you're pissed, then you needed to hear it. All right, hey, so listen, on the PPP, it's not an all or nothing, okay? You need to forget thinking it's all or nothing, okay? For full forgiveness, let's hear this. Full forgiveness. If you're like, whoa, I want full forgiveness, then at least 75% has to be used on payroll. If you don't spend at least 75% on payroll, then the amount you did spend on payroll properly is forgiven, right? You get 100 grand, you spend 70,000 on payroll, you do it properly, 70,000's getting forgiven. See, you don't need to make sure you get up to the inch and then get yourself in trouble trying to jack around with the numbers because you think you got to get it to 75K. You just have 5 grand left over. No more than 25% spent on the other items, okay? But it's not like, oh, I got to have it right to the 25 and right to the 75. Okay? It's just no more than. Your rent may be more. Well, only up to the 25%. Know this too, if you've got less, right, then you just have money to return, period. No, it's not a 1% loan, okay? Meaning you get to the end, you owe it back, Okay, now you have 18 months to pay it back, but mostly that's put into play for those that use the money, didn't do it properly, now they got to pay it back. Follow? This isn't just a 1% loan activity, okay? You were given money, and yes, it's a grant. You were given money, it's free money. Wake up, it was free money. You got to use it as directed, period, the end. If you got free money incorrectly, you need to return it. Let's go, come on. All right. It's 8 weeks from disbursement. So if your bank gives you a different date than the disbursement, you need to get a hold of them ASAP and get it straightened out so that you're not in a pickle because somehow you didn't use up the money properly within that 8-week period. All right? So the partial period on payroll and the partial period on rent, it has real no bearing here, meaning it's going to be what payroll occurred, what rent occurred, what utilities occurred. So you can't try and pay 3 sets of rent in your 8 weeks. Only 2 months is going to count. Okay? Now, what are we talking about here on SBA FAQ? Because people lost their freaking minds this weekend. Whew. First of all, did you know that YouTube videos are free? Did you know that? Did you also know you can just go boop, next, go to the next video? Were you aware of that? Maybe you didn't know. Just so you know, you're not in handcuffs to sit and watch JJ the CPA. By the way, it's a free country, isn't it? I can say what I want to say. Oh, you can say what you want to say. But did you know you can just move along? So for those that I'm entertaining and just get under your skin, leave me 15 to 25 comments. Why? Because you're shooting me up in the algorithms. Ha ha on you. Now, SBA FAQ, okay? Grow up. Okay, when I say FAQ 31 to 37 to 39, the interim rule, had some lady lose her freaking mind because she's like, well, I went and read FAQ 31. I've never read anything like this before, but I read it and it says it's related to the large companies, and so I've unsubscribed. Good, thank you. I mean, are you kidding me? 31 to 37 to 39, the interim. Okay, you just watched a video. You found out that you had the wrong wrench. Now you're pissed at the person that put together the video telling you how to change a faucet because they told you to use a wrench on this certain faucet. Like, grow up, okay? You're not a professional. Go seek a professional. Why in the hell are you reading your own FAQs and then drawing conclusions? Get with a professional and stop getting pissed at me because I'm giving you free information. Okay? If you don't like free information, then go to your advisor and buy it. Okay? Now, what are we talking about here? Okay? Every mind's blown. Oh my gosh. The SBA. Yeah, the SBA's come back. The video I put out over the weekend was saying, can you believe this? This is unbelievable. The SBA is saying now, so let's get serious for a minute. The SBA is saying now that you need to go back and re-review. I'm not saying it. The SBA is, okay? I'm reporting to you what the SBA is saying. Do you understand the difference here, okay? The SBA is saying that you need to reevaluate. Do you? I don't know. The SBA is saying it. The SBA is saying, okay, and there's still more to come out on this, and I got some opinions on it that I think you're gonna like. Unless you're an ass clown and you've already left because your blood's boiling, okay? So here's the thing. When you're looking at the reassessment, the SBA is saying, well, we want you to look at your liquidity. We want you to look at what loans you had available to you. So this doesn't apply to the self-employed. Your business is not separate from you, okay? It doesn't really apply. I see no way that this applies to the self-employed Schedule C. So for those of you that have already gone to the comment section and your mind's blown about it, thank you for leaving comments that push me up in the algorithm. And it's kind of ridiculous you didn't keep watching. I don't care that it's a long video. So when you're talking about reevaluating, okay? Yeah, it's the SBA that's saying criminal. Don't get pissed at me because I'm telling you what the SBA is saying, okay? But get a clue here. Everything says criminal, right? Everything. Fishing license, you get it incorrectly. It's a criminal act. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, what are you getting pissed about? I'm just telling you what the SBA is saying, and I'm telling you for your own good, okay? Now, do you need to reevaluate? Yeah. But I have a couple of opinions on there that I think you like. Maybe you'll be surprised by it. But Google this, would you? Forbes, Wall Street Journal, AICPA, they're all talking about it. All their headlines, criminal activity or insolvency. What's a small business to do? Why don't you go get pissed at them? Okay? So when you're talking about criminal, let's talk about this. There's disregarding a rule, a law. There's negligence. There's gross negligence. And then there's fraud. So I brought up a story about an FBI investigation. People are like, oh, the FBI, that was pure fraud. I can't even believe you're trying to use the FBI as somebody that's going to come and talk to you. The whole point that I'm pointing out to you all that the FBI is involved, I mean, to me, maybe you're just not around it to know this. It's shocking that the FBI already ferreted out fraud that quickly. Okay, I actually think it's pretty easy to ferret out the fraud. Okay, but for the FBI to be within weeks, I'm not scaring you with the FBI, so grow up. What I'm saying is, for the FBI to already be involved, like what? For the FBI to arrest somebody? I mean, when you think about this, people commit IRS fraud all the time, and the FBI never shows up. Okay, think about this for a second. This is something from the SBA, and the FBI is involved. Now, am I saying that if you don't return your PPP money, the FBI is going to show up? Well, then how do you even know how to walk and chew gum if you think that's what I'm saying? What I'm saying here is like, isn't this unbelievable that the FBI is already involved and never heard of such a thing this quickly? Holy crap. To then say, dude, I think they're going to be looking at this stuff. Like what? And how do people find fraud? How do people find fraud? Right? They don't just find the fraud. Okay? They see someone disregarded the rules over here, the law. They disregarded it, and it's due to some negligence. And then, well, it's not just negligence, it's gross negligence. And it's such gross negligence that, man, that's just outright fraud. So how do detectives find the murderer? The murderer. And no, I'm not at all comparing this to murder. You must just have nothing to do. Please comment, please. What I'm saying is, a detective doesn't just go, oh, there he is. He's got blood all over his hands and he's got the knife and he just confessed. Well, that's how we find him. If we don't have that, well, I guess we're never going to find who done this murder. They're looking for people that are suspicious. They've disregarded something. That's interesting. Tail lights out. Maybe we need to look into that. Oh, what is this? What is it? It's called clues. You ever been a detective when you were growing up? It's called clues. Okay? So what's a clue? Okay? What's criminal? You have to understand that when you're dealing with the IRS, if you don't report your income, doesn't matter if it's $1 or $10 million, the IRS goes, okay, that's supposed to be a siren. Okay? Wake up, for goodness sakes. All you're doing if you're pissed is you've done something, you've disregarded. Maybe you're committing some negligence. Maybe you've got some gross negligence and you've got some fraud and you're in the dark and there's somebody with the flashlight. Oh my gosh, I better get mad about it. Okay? Like, wake up. Why am I talking about criminal activity? Oh, it's a scare tactic so that he'll watch his videos. I mean, clearly that's someone who says that, that's how they look. All right, so the thing is, the government doesn't go after only fraud, okay? They go after everything because in essence, each step of this is fraud. The application process, the assessing of your loan and eligibility, how you spent it, responding to the government, responding as in, hey, a rule changed. You don't get to go, well, F you, I'm keeping it. Okay, then keep it. And move along. Why are you even watching videos? You're just trying to make yourself feel better and trying to find somebody that's going to go, you go ahead and do that. Well, it ain't going to find it here. Okay? You got free money. It came with strings. Live with it. If you don't want the strings, then return it. Jiminy Christmas, stop acting like you're a victim because you got PPP money. Jiminy Christmas. I won't go so far as to say shame on you, but I'll be like, maybe like a, like a grandma or grandpa that would be like, hey, shame on you. You're picking on that little dog over there. So you got to use it as directed. Grow up. Don't manipulate it. If you got money left over, you pay it back. So I had someone that responded pretty good because they were like, you know what? I like what you said, JJ, about your gut. Because it's like, well, if it doesn't feel right, or if it feels too good, my gut's kind of telling me that I probably shouldn't do it. Should I give myself a raise? Well, kind of a little too good. Then, yeah, I don't know why PPP would direct it. If you really want the answer, and I'm getting ready to get to some opinions here, so I appreciate you sticking with me, because more people stick to the end than I would realize, and I really appreciate it. But the thing to know here is that, honestly, I forgot my point. So let's talk about the AICPA, which just means I've talked about it enough. AICPA. Yeah, you bet, JJ. At minute 30:54, you're right. You talked about it enough. So with the AICPA, okay, that's the American Institute of CPAs. They're getting after the SBA. Basically saying, hey, we need some more guidelines. Like, why are businesses now trying to make decisions if they should return the money? They qualified when they got it. Okay, now businesses are like, man, should I return this because I don't want a criminal investigation? Oh my gosh, he said criminal investigation. Guess what? That's our word for our drinking game on Friday. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll see you Friday, 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And you trolls are welcome because you'll get devoured by the people. And those of you that are, your little people, your little pissant people, why don't you join the live and hear what the nation, okay, the real people that are in real crisis will have to say about your little pissant comments. All right, so on the AICPA, they're basically saying, yo, SBA, let's get with it. And that's part of what my sentiment was over the weekend. It's like, are you kidding me, SBA? You're literally threatening criminal activity here for businesses that took the money and because they had money in the bank or they had loans available? I mean, are you freaking kidding me? Okay? Like, what? The SBA is saying that? What? What you shouldn't be replying is like, where does it say that? Where does do? What you should be upset about is like, are you kidding me? The SBA saying this? But what I got more and more is like, where does it say that? You're just making this up. JJ, you're giving us false information. And now everybody's writing about it today. Lesson learned, would you? Jiminy Christmas. Okay? Lesson learned. Okay? I know stuff because I'm keeping up with it. I'm reading this and I'm reading that. I'm putting together the videos. Okay? Everybody's talking about it now. Bunch of fools over there trying to doubt JJ, the CPA, and you're right. Can't remember your name, but you're right. I am up on a pedestal. But guess what? Everybody's welcome to come on up with me. Okay? The view's great. Plenty of room. Because do I think highly of myself? You're damn right I do, and you should think highly of yourself as well. Why do you think low of yourself? Go watch Group 300. All right, so I'm going to give you a few opinions here, but guess what? You get to hear my disclaimer, okay? So my disclaimer is, if you don't know the obvious, then I'm going to tell you the obvious, and that is, this is information I'm giving it to. I'm not your CPA. I may be a CPA. I may think I'm the CPA. But you know what? Any CPA you meet, badass. EA, badass. A tax advisor, tax pro, badass. Attorneys, badass. Bankers, financial advisors, badass. So guess what? You need to go talk to your own badass advisors, okay? And the reason I go on YouTube is the same reason you go on YouTube. It's the same reason I wrote this book over here, okay? That book right there. I'm giving you information to give you ideas to go talk to your advisor about. To go, oh shoot, I better go talk to my bank about this, okay? I'm pushing you in the right direction, right? And if you don't want to be pushed, okay, then go watch the jackweeds over there that have no qualifications that are giving you information with no qualifications. They're just doing it for views, okay? And if you see a thumbnail and it scares you, it was on purpose. It's supposed to scare you. It's not so you watch my damn video. So the disclaimer here is, I accept no responsibility, okay? And guess what? Guess what this crap leads to? Is I have to put the disclosure and the disclaimers that I did in the body of this email. So go read them, because if you are somebody that doesn't have advisors, then you need to get some. Get them. Because like I told you at the beginning, these are not issues to be going by what someone says on YouTube. Now, what do you go to YouTube for? Well, this, and this. I think I have an issue. Let me go ask my bank. I heard this, and this. I better go talk to my tax pro. I better talk to my attorney on this. That's why you go and get the information, okay? Now, I get it. You can watch, because there are things you can find on YouTube on how to do it yourself, but you still got to use your own brain, okay? And you're not using your own brain if all you're trying to do is find a smart-ass comment. So I can just tell you this right now, I'm not reading any comments down here. Doesn't have anything to do with I don't got no backbone. I don't have any no effing time. I don't have time to sit around and read the comments and read all these questions. I'm giving you a ton of information. I have a crap load of playlists. I have, 300 videos. Work for it. You know what Amanda says? It's like, JJ, when you just answer question after question, people aren't going to watch the video. You've put it in the videos. Go watch the videos. I got a website. Go watch the website. Or go to the website. Find the information. Work for it at least. Jiminy Christmas. You guys ever remember there was a president? It was a Straight Talk Express. I think it was John McCain. Straight Talk Express. Here's the deal, okay? You probably saw my video. I'm not returning my PPP. Okay, go watch the video on why. I'm not returning it. And it has nothing to do with rebel. It doesn't have anything to do with that. I qualified for it. I still qualify for it. PPP was to allow businesses, yes, I'm reading it. I wrote it. PPP was to allow businesses to preserve their resources and available credit and get assistance through the gap of closure, okay? The PPP's intent, the CARES Act, the original application was not go use up all your credit and use up all your money so that when you finally get to open, you're bankrupt. It was not use up all your money and use all your credit so that when you open, you have no credit and therefore you have no business. I mean, come on, SBA, okay? The CARES Act was to fill a gap. The CARES Act specifically states that you do not look if somebody can get credit elsewhere. You don't have to get credit elsewhere, okay? If you have a doctor and they make $50K a week, don't be pissed at them. They're smart, they make $50K a week. If they're closed down for 4 weeks, they lost $200K, okay? If they have a lot of money in the bank, good for them. They worked hard for it, they saved it. Why do they have to use up that money, okay? Why does the person who saved money and doesn't have a lot on their line of credit, the one that gets penalized here, okay? And this isn't about fair. It wasn't what the case was. It's not what the law stated. So in my general opinion, and it's an opinion, do you know what an opinion is? Why don't you Google it if you need to know what an opinion is? I can't define everything for you, okay? In my general opinion, that you cannot rely on, it's not considered advice. That's because y'all freaking attorneys, I love attorneys, but I'm saying that's because all these freaking attorneys have to tell us, well, if I'm giving an opinion, I got to make sure y'all know that it's just an opinion getting on a free YouTube station. Station means channel, by the way. So assuming you qualify under the original application and you're using it properly. In my general opinion, if it would be detrimental to you to return the funds, that's your number one indicator that you need them. Okay, think about that, right? If you're like, man, maybe should I return this? Or would it be detrimental? Okay, so let's say it's not detrimental. Okay, I'm not telling you that's the only test here. In my general opinion, if you have a concern about it, what you can do is pause spending it. Go talk to the bank. Do some facts and circumstances. Okay, the SBA saying, get it back to us by May 14th. Pause, take a deep breath. Okay, sometimes I need to do that too. Go talk to your bank. Say, hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? What am I hearing here? Your bank's supposed to be your advisor. The banks that are like, well, I don't know, you're going to have to talk to your lawyer, you're going to have to talk to your CPA. Okay, well, why'd you give the loan, bank? Why'd you give the loan? Okay, make your bank tell you. Well, they won't tell me. I don't know who to call. Work on it. If you're at a bank, there's somebody working there. It's not ran by, freaking Terminators and Skynet. Okay, if you're unsure, you don't have to return it. Okay, in my general opinion, if you're unsure, then pause. Maybe don't spend it. Put it in a separate account. Analyze this for yourself. Get some advice. Okay. You're not going to get advice asking in the comments of a YouTube channel. Okay. If you are thinking that you need to return this money, then you need to talk to your advisors. Well, my advisors are busy. Okay. Then get their attention. And you know how you get their attention? Is you say, this is what you do not say this. I got a quick question for you. Do I need to return the PPP? Because your advisor's like, great. I mean, they want to give me an answer that can totally sue me, and they're not going to even pay me. What you need to do is say, hey, listen, can I buy 30 minutes of your time? Say to your advisor, can I buy 30 minutes of your time? I need to get your opinion on what I should do with the PPP. But I'm going to tell you this right now. It really doesn't matter what your accountant or your financial advisor or your lawyer says on this. Now, don't get me wrong. They may help you come to a conclusion, but it's up to you, and it's ultimately up to the freaking bank, and it's ultimately up to the freaking SBA. And you're damn right I'm not frustrated because the SBA is like, nope, here's out, nope. Oh, no. Oh, it's based on, nope, now it's based on, nope, now, no, what about, nope. How frustrating is that? So if you've got a moving target, okay, do you waste your ammo trying to shoot at the moving target? Or maybe sometimes, right, you got it, you're in your scope. I don't know how to do a moving target. I'm not a hunter, right? So I'm holding this like an idiot, okay? Okay, I'm holding this like, what would it be? So I don't know. I'm gonna do it like this, right? So I'm doing this and I got a moving target. Right? Go and go, okay, like in a bad Steven Seagal movie, and now all I've done is, my clip's empty because I was trying to shoot a moving target. If you got a moving target, maybe you should just do this. Maybe wait for it to settle down, and you got a full clip, okay? I get your 8 weeks is moving and moving and moving and moving, but the payroll is based on occurred. The rent is based on occurred, okay? You got till the end of 8 weeks, figure this crap out. So simmer down and get with your bank. If your bank's not giving you answers, then talk to the manager. The manager doesn't have answers, you go to the supervisor. Now, you may have to talk to your lawyer to get your bank to help you. I'd hate to say that, because I'm telling you right now, the banks around here are being helpful, okay? I mean, I understand I'm in Oklahoma and we're friendly folk, okay? But banks have obligations here, for criminy sakes. All right, hey, and then I told you on the last thing, check it out, I'm gonna get it under 45 minutes. The taxation, man, I'm shocked. But congressional leaders are saying, listen, IRS, you are wrong. They should be able to, those that got PPP, they should be able to deduct those expenses. This is free money. It's not supposed to be taxable. Nowhere in the CARES Act says that it's not deductible. Okay? Well, how long you been in Congress? No offense. I love you. No offense. It's a legitimate question. How long you been in Congress? Okay, so there's already a precedence. IRS doesn't just make up crap. Okay? They're following a precedence. All right. Hey, guess what? We're done. We made it. Catch me live. Check it out. Thursday night. Boom. On the... No. Wednesday. What is Wednesday? Wednesday the 13th. Check out the new reality show. Gonna premiere it. Catch me live, 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Boom.